Hello, divas and demons. Welcome to Hell's Carnival. I'm Queenie.
I'm Simon.
And we are here tonight to bring you a case from 1997.
Which case are we talking about?
Oh, tonight I have prepared the Dunbar Armored facility robbery. Have you ever heard of this case?
No, I have not.
This one is interesting. It is known to be the largest cash robbery to date. Yes.
Wow.
And Dunbar is the company that supplies the banks. You know, you see those armored trucks that drive around and fill up the ATMs and stuff?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Dunbar is that company.
Ooh.
So, the main mastermind behind the entire scheme for the Dunbar Armored facility robberies was Alan Pace III.
Alan Pace III. Wonder why he got caught.
We'll get to that. Pace worked at the Dunbar facility. He was the regional safety inspector, so basically it was his job to inspect the trucks and make sure that they were meeting standards and stuff. Mm-hmm. But while he was working, he had another plan in mind.
And what was that?
He had time to learn the layout of the building and the high-tech security system they had involved all around them. Because while banks have security and people going around, Dunbar didn't have as much security, but they had a lot more cash on hand.
That seems a bit like counter-offing, kind of.
Counterintuitive?
Yeah, counterintuitive.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have so much money, but you don't have so much many people to protect it?
And see, that's kind of what I was thinking when I was learning about this case.
Because, like, you would think that maybe they go after banks because they think they have the money. Maybe.
I mean, that would make sense. That's where people deposit their money and go every Friday to cash their checks and stuff. So that's where their minds go to. Well, while he was working, like I said, he learned the layout. This elite alarm system had approximately 25 security cameras.
25? That's not very many.
I don't know if the facility was very big, but it also had supposedly an impenetrable vault with 18-inch thick doors.
18 inches.
Yeah, he was a big boy.
A big boy. You know what?
What?
I was gonna say, you know what else is big?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, back to the case.
And it had bulletproof doors around the vault area. So that makes sense.
Well, I presume, you know, like 18 inches thick of metal, I don't think you have to say it's bulletproof.
Well, it wasn't the safe door that was bulletproof. They also had bulletproof doors, like where they go in to count the money to put it up. Because somebody has to count it and bundle it before you take it to the banks. So the area where they prepared the money also had bulletproof doors. Now, once Pace had a good thought process of what he wanted to do, he was 28 at this time, but he knew he couldn't do it alone. So he started gathering a team that he trusted. Now, I can't really say that I have ever trusted anybody this much.
You know, like, I'm not gonna let you deal with my money. Like, that much money.
Well, more important than money is, what if they get caught? That means that this person is in charge of my freedom.
Exactly.
Okay, so he had a girlfriend at this time that also worked with him. Tamika Carnes was Alan's girlfriend, and she worked at the Dunbar facility as managing the video security equipment. But there was a little hiccup. I mean, that makes sense that she would be good and in on the plan, because if she works with the video security equipment, then you know, that gives him also like an in to know where every camera is and where the equipment is kept.
That's kind of a perfect position to...
They had a little hiccup, though. His girlfriend got fired.
Ooh, for what?
She got fired because she was suspected of theft in early August 1997.
Did she face any charges?
Not that I know of. They couldn't prove it, but she did get fired behind it. And see, the whole plan went down in September. So she got fired right before this was all supposed to go down. And so he had to bring in some other people that he trusted. The first guy that he recruited for the team was Eugene Hill. Now, this guy has been his best friend for years and years. You could say his right-hand man. Like, his guy he goes to for everything. And they've worked together as security officers in quite a few other places, too. So they have a history together, not only working together, but being best friends. At the same time, he brought in Freddie McCrary, which was another childhood friend. Like, they've all known each other since they were, like, 10.
Wow.
So and Terry Brown was at the same time. He gathered these three guys at the same time. So Terry Brown was Pace's business partner because apparently he opened a security company at some point.
Security company?
Yeah, like, you know, the people that would call and hire security to work for certain facilities.
So, like, a recruiting officer site?
Yeah, something like that. Now, I don't know if this was still going on. They didn't really mention that. But I assume not, since he was working for Dunbar, unless that was part of their company. Now, the plan starts to go into place. He has to tell the guys about it. So he shows them a rough layout of the building, like he's in a parking lot or a park or something, and he's drawing in chalk, showing them a rough layout of the building that he works at. And he starts training them or teaching them how to avoid the security cameras and where they're located. He's also telling them who will be on duty at that time, and they plan to go in when the main security guy is on his lunch break. Now, Thomas Johnson gets recruited to help control the guards inside the facility. Johnson has a history with the security, working the security that the facilities they worked at in the past with the other guys. So they know him too. I mean, they would have to, because you have to have people that you can trust going into something like this.
So they knew them a little too well.
Maybe. On September 12th, 1997, Pace was fired.
What do you expect?
For allegedly tampering with the company vehicles.
So they couldn't, like, go after them if they got caught?
Well, I think, I don't know if it was part of his plan or if he just wasn't doing his proper job because he was too focused on the plan he was trying to put into action. But this is a major upset in what they were going to do because they were planning on using Pace, now the mastermind, his key to get into the safe and stuff. Well, this triggers the whole plan to go into effect earlier than expected. And they realize that they need one more person on the team. They need a getaway driver.
Who did they recruit?
They bring in Eric Boyd. And you're never gonna guess what kind of vehicle they got as a getaway driver.
What was it?
A U-Haul truck.
Oh, that's not. That's not. Oh, wait. Oh.
They went and rented a U-Haul truck for this entire thing to get away.
Oh, that's not.
So the night of the heist, I mean, this whole plan really was genius. And I'm not voting for the quote-unquote bad guy here. I'm just saying that Pace was smart. He really thought everything through. The night of the heist, they built their alibi by going to a house party where they would be seen by many witnesses. And around 11 p.m., they each creep out of the house, like, separately. So, like, one by one, they would leave, so nobody really paid attention that they were leaving. Because when you're at a big house party, I mean, nobody's really paying attention to what you're doing anyway. So they all go, actually 2 of them go in one vehicle, and the other 4 go in a different vehicle. One truck and the U-Haul. So they get to the Dunbar facility, and the U-Haul driver stays outside, right?
Guarding?
Kind of guarding, but really he was just in the vehicle waiting for further instructions. The other 5 guys go inside.
Okay.
They immediately subdue the security guard. They tie him up with duct tape. They take his gun away. I think he had a .357 revolver, and they took that away. I could be wrong about the gun. And they take him in the other room, and Pace is kind of peeking through the blinds to see if the people he thought would be on duty were there, or if there was anybody that would take him by surprise. So they all go into this other, it's the next room over from where the security officer was, and they tie everybody up with duct tape, which is effective.
Duct tape, though?
But, duct tape's kind of the fix-all go-to, you can fix your car,
Your car? What are you gonna do? My engine's falling out, let me just duct tape.
No, but when your bumper's falling off, you could duct tape it back up, or if you need to hang
your bumper falls off.
I've seen
your
it.
Bumper.
Or you could fix your window with it.
Excuse me. You're not gonna be able to see out of your window. What do you want about?
And then you can hang stuff on the wall with it. Duct tape is good for almost anything, man.
No, it's not. That's what is it called? What is it called? Flex tape. That's flex tape.
Anyway, so they get everybody down. They're pushing them to the ground pretty aggressively. And
Pushed me.
I did not. Your face, though. And one of the women that is at the facility, when they push her down, they hurt her shoulder. Now, I can only imagine that these people are terrified at this point because they're being robbed. And she screams out in pain. Now, there's a vital mistake that happens here. When Pace hears her scream out in pain, he tries to calm her down by saying, "Don't worry, baby."
Excuse me?
The thing is, he just was working there a month ago.
Don't worry, Baba Grill.
What?
Don't shh, Daddy's home.
Oh my God. Well, these people know his voice. So I wouldn't have said a single word while I was in the facility, because that's what I would have been scared of. I would have trained in hand signals or something like that. But that was a grave mistake on his part, in my opinion. Johnson holds the workers at gunpoint.
Oh.
The driver, Boyd, at this point is instructed to back the truck up into the facility. Mm-hmm. And as he's doing this, he hits the back of the truck on something like a concrete support beam or something in the garage area. And everybody is in such riled up in a panic at this point that they don't notice. But what happens is the tail light cracks and a piece of it falls off onto the ground.
That's what they left behind.
Yes, that's the
it's funny how police officers can catch on to the littlest piece of glass.
Yes.
The littlest piece of plexiglass or something.
And taillights are made out of plastic, but you're right. This lens broken off was the only piece they left behind. So as the chaos is going on, the remaining 4 men are loading the cash into these big rolling bins. The best way I can explain it is, you've seen those big laundry bins that they show in like prison shows.
Yeah, where they load all the leotards in these big garbage can size
Like
baskets.
yeah, huge things that they roll the clothes in, and like they show the guys trying to escape in the laundry or whatever. Anyway, that's pretty much what I pictured when I seen it. So they were loading these big blocks of cash into these big bins.
Wait, were they like in ones or what was it?
I'm about to tell you that. So they are loading all the cash into the bins, and they fill it up, and they take that bin to the U-Haul truck, and then they start throwing it in the back. Now, each one of those bins holds $70 to $80 million in 20s.
Excuse me?
Yes, $70 to $80 million in $20 bills.
Excusez-moi. Do you know how much Hello Kitty stuff I could buy with that? Do you know how much My Melody Hello Kitty stuff I could buy with that?
Merch City, baby.
Merch City!
So they get everything loaded on to the truck. They're going fast. They get all of this done in less than 30 minutes.
Jesus.
They are in, out, and gone.
Okay. I am not acknowledging the heist or the criminals in this situation. I am just saying you gotta be real talented to get that much money in one truck in 30 minutes. But all respect to the company that lost all that money.
It was insured.
Okay.
So that helps. So they return to the house party like nothing happened.
Wow, the psychopaths in there.
They just go back. Well, that gives them their alibi. That solidifies their alibi. They go back into the house party. They slip back in like they were never gone. Lots of witnesses say they were there. The crew got away with $18.9 million. Now, and that's in 1997. By today's value in 2024, that would equal $36 million.
So, in retrospect, back in the olden days.
Watch it.
In the olden days of 1997.
Nuh-uh.
I'm kidding.
Golden days.
The golden days. You are sitting at a party. You're minding your own business. You're dancing on someone, drinking alcohol, having fun. You're like fresh to the neighborhood. You want to get to know everybody. You're not going to notice people coming back like after a few minutes. Especially people that you know are close and stuff. So don't comment on how like dumb these experiences and witnesses are.
Well, eyewitness testimony is the weakest testimony there is. Eyewitness testimony is always the weakest link because our memories, especially they're drinking, they're probably smoking, they're all having a good time.
Come on, it's the 90s.
Yeah. They know that they got saw by people. I did not say that properly.
They know that they got seen.
Thank you.
By people.
They got seen by people. English is my first language, but it is not always proper.
I'm the grammar police.
Shut up.
Ow.
Okay, so their whole plan was solid. For 2 years, the police had nothing to go on but that plastic lens. So they did their research, and it took them a long time because we didn't have the same resources in 1997 that we have today.
We did it.
So they had to do footwork. There wasn't databases. There wasn't internet. There wasn't anything for them to go on with that plastic lens, but they took it and they compared it to different trucks. And they figured out that it only belongs to one type of truck.
A U-Haul truck.
But that took them a long time to do because they had to do that footwork. So I commend the police on that.
I commend.
And in 1999, Eugene makes an idiotic mistake. Beginners. Well, they are beginners because before this, none of these guys had any criminal history, no criminal record. They were on nobody's radar. You know, they were quote unquote good guys, you know. But Eugene makes an amateur mistake. That's what I mean. And he goes to a realtor because he wants to invest some of this money. And
they're gonna ask where he got it, aren't they?
well, he shows up with basically like a box or a suitcase or a bag full of cash. And he wants to invest, I think it was $100,000. And he still had the paper straps around the money from the heist.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're God.
He still left those on there.
Oh.
And when the realtors saw this, by this point, there was like $250,000 reward for any information because this was 2 years later.
So 250,000.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a $250,000 reward. So the realtor's like, ding, 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 I'm fixing to call this in because this is sus, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, you got paper straps around your money. You don't have rubber bands. They're not balled up or anything. What are you doing to my hoodie strap? They're not in any kind of like normal packaging. They're like, ooh, I'm gonna keep this in a rubber strap.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah.
So, the lawyer, I'm sorry, I said lawyer, realtor.
Where's the lawyer?
It's late at night, guys.
It really is.
So we're at the end of our day, and my cat Yuri is over here playing with Simon's hair.
Yeah.
While Simon's trying to talk.
Yeah.
So he keeps some of the, I don't know if he kept the cash and the straps, but he kept it and called the police. Of course, he didn't give them all that cash that he was investing, but the police took these paper straps and they were stamped with the day of the robbery and the day before, like September 11th and September 12th, 1997. So,
Jesus Christ.
so that was proof of where they came from because it was that day. I guess it was like the Dunbar facility always used that. But it still took another year before any arrests were made.
So they were like on probation for that time?
They were still investigating. They were free for 3 years.
3 years with that amount of money?
Oh yeah, I'd have left the country.
It would have taken me 3 weeks to blow it, but like
What, 3 weeks on Hello Kitty?
3 weeks on Hello Kitty, and I would spend it all, my mortgage, my bills, my like everything.
Yes, it would be not here anymore. Okay, because they had to split it 6 ways, right? So that's like $3 million each. I would have took my part and left the country so fast. Bye. Anyway, so about that third year, the first one, the mastermind that did all this was the first one that got arrested.
Wow.
Why? Because once they figured out where that plastic lens came from,
He got in trouble for renting the U-Haul.
he signed the U-Haul contract.
He signed the U-Haul contract.
Yes, he did. He signed his real name on this U-Haul to rental agreement.
Jesus Christ.
And that brought Alan Pace in for questioning, and he got arrested. It took him so he made all this effort to make sure the crew that he got was trustworthy and that, everybody would be on board.
Everybody was his clique.
Huh?
His clique, his gang.
Yeah, he got his gang together. But who was the first one to flip on all of them?
Him.
Yes. He turned them in and flipped on them so fast.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I thought snitches got stitches.
Yeah, well, watch what happens when we go to jail.
Okay, it's a different story once they're telling you that you're fixing to get all these years in jail. It was his plan. I wouldn't have said a word. I ain't gonna lie.
Even if like you yell at me. I might cry, but I ain't spilling nothing.
Okay, I ain't saying nothing. And so anyway, they go through the court proceedings and all of that. Oh, he went to sleep.
Chat.
Okay, sleeping kitties are my favorite.
He's clawing on my sweater.
And the guys that he flipped on ended up getting a lot. They all flipped on each other once it got in there.
Seriously?
Yeah.
They all just went, you.
They all just talked and told him everything. Silence is golden. Because they really had nothing.
May I say something?
Of course.
Pussies!
Watch it.
So, Alan Pace ends up getting 24 years and 2 months.
That 2 months would have been torture.
Yeah, the extra 2 months, that was just for pettiness.
It was. It really was.
Okay, so this was in 1999 or 2000 he got sentenced. So he got out in 2020. And nobody really knows what he's up to now. He kind of stays off the radar and under. I wonder if he's still got that cash.
Me too.
Because they never recovered a lot of it.
Yeah, they were stuck with 18 million.
They never recovered a lot of that money, but it was insured. So Dunbar, of course, has their cash insured. But so he got out and he pretty much was just like, I'm not doing none of this. So he lives off the radar and out of the spotlight, which I understand.
Yeah, after you made such a big F up.
Well, he still has the largest cash robbery in history.
Yeah.
So
In the American history.
yes, in American history. Thank you for clarifying. And that's the story of the Dunbar robbery. So what'd you think?
Well, it's Simon segment time.
Oh, okay, guys. So it's time for Simon Says. Simon Says is going to be a segment on our show where Simon will give you a little bit of palate cleanser or a fun fact, if you will. So here's Simon Says.
Yeah, so I'm gonna clear with these dummies of the mistake they made with all that money. We love you, Dunbar. We love you. So, did you know from the year 1900 to 1950, there were these girls that used to paint clocks and they were so gorgeous, but the paint that they had was toxic and had uranium in it, and back then they didn't have anything to clean their brushes with. They had to lick the tip to get it. Shush! They had to lick the tip
Of uranium?
Yeah, they painted it on the clock, licked the brush to get it all pointy and nice, and they dipped it back in the paint. They did this for hours on end.
Wouldn't that kill them?
Yeah, they died. There were these 3 girls that died of uranium poisoning, and to know that hopefully there are not jobs like this out there, especially in countries that they don't keep monitors on, would be really helpful. What the fart?
Oh, you spit on me.
My bad. Well, I do it to a lot of people.
All right, so I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this story.
We love y'all.
We do. And remember, if you don't have anything nice to say, fuck it. Just speak your mind. Who cares what people think? And life is a carnival. Enjoy the ride while it lasts.
Sleep well and have a good day.
Oh yeah!